Welcome to Hope TV Newswatch. You're just in time for the latest in news. Hoping you are well. My name is Melissa Oduor. Boniface Meredith is on the sign language tonight. Newswatch begins now. Kenya has received a major boost in its war against crime with the technological upgrade of the Crime Reporting Center at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI. The upgraded services at the Crime Reporting Center, dubbed Fichua Kwa DCI Center, courtesy of a partnership with the British government and Reinvent Kenya. Speaking at the unveiling, DCI Director Mohammed Amin said the system upgrade at the Fichua Kwa DCI Center includes a toll-free hotline to enable the public share information securely and conveniently via WhatsApp. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen on his part hailed the advancement in technology, saying it will upskill security officers and allow Kenyans to anonymously share crucial intelligence on crime. UK High Commissioner to Kenya Neil Wigan said the upgrade will hopefully strengthen Kenya's early intervention to emerging security concerns. The Democratic Action Party of Kenya, DAP-K, has unveiled aspirants for the upcoming by-elections in 6 constituencies, including Malava, which currently lacks representation. Party leader Eugene Wamalwa, who presided over the event, welcomed the new aspirants to the party and emphasized DAP-K's commitment to justice, democracy, and free and fair nominations. Wamalwa has meanwhile announced the opening of the new party office in Malava this Friday, aimed at boosting the party's grassroots presence in Kakamega County.
This is a party that believes in democracy, it's a party that believes in social justice, and it's a party that believes in letting the people decide. So today we want to tell you, as we welcome you, that this Friday we will be heading to Malava, and we want to see democracy in action. One term is enough. We cannot have another term of bloodshed, of the innocent blood of young Kenyans. We cannot have another term where our country has been bled white by corruption, by William Ruto and his corrupt clique. We cannot have another term where our payslip holders have had their payslips bled white.
We wish to state that the criminal justice system has been fully weaponized by this government against its own citizens, and the law is being used to tarnish, or rather to crush dissidents. The Prevention and Terrorism Act and the Computer Misuse and Crimes Act are 2 pieces of legislation that have become weapons of choice for the current regime to clamp down on digital activism and stifle free speech and constitutionally generated freedom, guaranteed freedom of expression, particularly by the youth of Kenya. Yesterday, my learned friend Biko and I were at DIC headquarters representing the famous TikToker Godfrey Masiaga, aka Ken Mayo, who was arrested on the 9th of July 2025 for demanding that the DCI stops the abductions, enforced disappearance, and extrajudicial killings of young Kenyans.
Now, a cross-section of women leaders affiliated to the DCP party of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have roundly condemned recent remarks made by the leader of the majority in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah. Led by Gatundu South aspirant Shiko Lui, the women leaders have accused Ichung'wah of launching personal attacks against the spouse of the former Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Gachagua. They're now calling on the Kenya Kwanza government to rein in on the majority leader and have urged him to retract his statement, saying they will document any political rhetoric made by leaders in a bid to hold them to account ahead of the 2027 elections.
During the recent nationwide demonstration, over 25 cases were documented by FIDA Kenya and Usikimia Group. Cases of sexual assault, including rape, gang rape, molestation against women and girls were reported, and the government has said nothing so far. We stand in full solidarity with Pastor Dorcas, Honorable Jane Kihara, and youth leader Wanjiko Thega. Their courage in the face of intimidation is a testament to the resilience of women who refuse to be silenced.
The Democracy of Citizen Party DCP women expresses deep concern over two troubling developments that speak to the growing culture of political intolerance and moral decay within our national leadership. First, we strongly condemn the unfortunate and disrespectful remarks made by Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah against Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, the Second Lady of the Republic of Kenya. Pastor Dorcas has distinguished herself as a national voice of the compassion, ministering to the vulnerable, mental health advocacy, support of widows, orphans, and vulnerable families and championing of boy-child initiatives. To belittle her work in the name of political livery is both reckless and dishonorable. We demand an immediate retraction and apology from Honorable Ichung'wah. Leadership demands restraint, maturity, and respect, especially towards those making a difference where others remain silent.
Our religious leaders from Bungoma County have added their support to the construction of a mega church project at State House being spearheaded by President William Ruto. According to the leaders, the presence of a modern church building to replace the tin structure was a symbol of respect to the place of worship and centrality of God in the nation. Led by Bishop Callistus Baraza, the Bungoma County clergy said it was appalling that Christians formed the majority of those opposed to the billion-shilling project. And meanwhile, the church leaders have urged politicians to tone down the political rhetoric and called upon security agencies to rein in on those spreading hate and incitement. They have meanwhile urged the youth to avoid being misused by politicians and to seek better approaches towards addressing their cries.
We commend and support his ongoing initiatives aimed at uplifting the role of the church in the national development. We take special note of the upgrade of the State House Chapel, an act that is more than symbolic. It's a clear commitment to blessing God at the center of our nation's affairs. This appalled and welcome gesture to accord God a befitting environment for spiritual nourishment and guidance in leadership.
Rais wetu aliona kanisa ambayo ilikuwa pale ilikuwa ya mabati tu kidogo na maana hivi, na akaona hapana, tunataka tujengee Mungu kitu ambacho kina fiti. So tunasimama na president kwamba anafanya kazi mzuri. Hatujui wenye kupinga wanataka nini.
And as a Bungoma County clergy, we take this opportunity to send a passionate plea to all leaders across the political divide. Let us be ambassadors of peace, not agents of division. We must remember that words have power. We caution all leaders against using their platforms for incitement.
To help matters now, Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has pledged to fully implement the report by a 13-member committee investigating allegations of illegal organ transplants and trafficking at the Eldoret-based Medihill Group of Hospitals. Duale, who received the report today, commended the independent team chaired by Professor Elizabeth Bukusi, a senior principal clinical research scientist at the Kenya Medical Research Institute, Cambridge, for delivering within that set timeline. while reiterating the government's commitment to upholding ethical standards and protecting patients in all medical procedures. Duale described the 313-page document as an important step towards reforming Kenya's tissue and organ transplant sector. And Stephen Munyaho, a Kenyan man on death row in Saudi Arabia for over 10 years, has been freed. Munyaho, who was convicted of manslaughter, was officially released at 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. The former warehouse manager, who is the son of veteran journalist Dorothy Kwayu, had been convicted in relation to the death of his Yemeni colleague Abdul Halim Mujahid during an altercation at their workplace in 2011. He had been initially sentenced to 5 years for manslaughter. However, the verdict was upgraded to capital punishment in 2014 after the victim's family appealed, invoking Saudi Arabia's Sharia law provisions. While confirming his release and plans to return him to Kenya, Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei said it was pursuant to the full satisfaction of judicial decree issued under Saudi law and followed multiple diplomatic negotiations and religious mediation. We're taking a short break now. We will be back with the day's business news and sport. Don't go too far.
Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond watangaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful, ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful, ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond watangaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful, ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful, ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki msoul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
You are Alpha and Omega. We will
Not only are we going to be offended, but believe it or not, we are going to offend somebody else. Whether directly or indirectly, sooner or later, we're going to hurt someone's feelings. We're going to do something that will disappoint someone. We will break someone's heart. We are humans. We are all weak. We all make mistakes.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The Lord Almighty reigns.
It's the man's responsibility to initiate that. Even if his wife was wrong, but he responded by raising his voice, by saying things to her with the wrong attitude, he needs to go down and knock on that door and say to his wife, will you please forgive me?
Set the prisoner free. By his own great mercy we are set.
We're back with business news now. ABSA and Visa have renewed their strategic partnership to accelerate the development of innovative, inclusive, secure, and digitally enabled financial payment ecosystems across ABSA's regional operations, ARU, which incorporates ABSA's presence outside South Africa. The agreement was formalized at a signing ceremony in Johannesburg. Michael Barner, the head of Southern and East Africa at Visa, said they will continue to support the momentum with its global expertise and technology as they deliver seamless experiences to customers. The partnership has already delivered several market-first innovations for customers across Africa. Soft drink giant Coca-Cola says it plans to introduce a new Coke sweetened with cane sugar to its existing lineup. The company already uses regular sugar to sweeten its signature Coke drink in many parts of the world, but in the US, it has typically used corn syrup, a lower-cost alternative, for decades. And the move is deemed a major recipe change for the first time since 1984 and promises to mirror the taste of Mexican Coca-Cola. Last week, President Donald Trump reviewed a plan saying it will be a good move by the soft drink giant. This is despite Trump's Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. voicing concern about the corn syrup's health risks, though experts say there are no clear nutritional reasons to favor one sweetener over the other. Coca-Cola used pure cane sugar until the ill-fated 80-day experiment known as the New Coke back in 1985, when they introduced the HFCS into the new formula as the drink's original flavor was replaced in response to gains on Coke by Pepsi in the markets. We're looking at sports now. More than 150 athletes have battled it out at the national trials organized by Athletics Kenya AK, aimed at selecting a competitive team to represent the country at the Tokyo World Championships scheduled for September this year. With national pride on the line, each athlete pushed their limits in hopes of securing a spot in the final squad. As Caleb Morty reports, the event brought together both seasoned and young promising talent, all vying for a chance to wear the national colors on the world stage.
With a rich heritage in athletics, Kenya has selected a strong squad set to battle it out with world's best in the Tokyo World Championships. The event, filled with high intensity and stiff competition, gave an open opportunity for young promising athletes to showcase their talent. Cornelius Korir will represent Kenya at the 1500 meters race, while Nelly Chepchirchir will represent the women's side on the same race.
I was so prepared for it since nilikuwa chini kidogo, but I just went back and corrected my mistakes. So when I was just coming in, nilikuwa well prepared and I was ready for it because nilikuwa najua I have a competitors that are very tough, so I was well prepared.
Renowned Kenyan middle distance runner and current 1500 meters world record holder Faith Kipyegon will double up in both the 1500 and 5000 meters in the World Championships. Meanwhile, decorated javelin thrower Julius Yego has described the championships as a crucial platform for emerging talent to gain exposure and experience on the global stage.
The target now is just to train healthy. I just want to break out to stay healthy, injury-free towards Tokyo, because I know I'm going to double both 15 and 5, and I know it's not an easy job to do to double, but I hope through the training and preparation, I hope everything will be well. Especially, I'm going to join a very strong team in the 1500 with Nelly, Susan, and the other lady, and then also the 5000 we have Beatrice and Agnes, and I'm so happy to join them.
In most of the events, you've seen the young athletes, being the toughest today, and I think that is the way to go, because if they are as tough as they have shown today, they deserve to be in the team, and I'm happy because the future belongs to the younger generation.
The trials were limited to athletes who had undergone anti-doping tests, and according to coach Boniface Thiren, Kenya must intensify its efforts in the fight against dope.
We have our great legends like Kipchoge Keino, Moses Kiptanui, the late Henry Rono, the late Ben Chipcho, Amos Biwott, and many, many others, Tekla Chemwapai, and who have made a name for this country. Let us not ruin the sport. Let us, all of us, fight this menace. Let us expose the dopers. And I want to appeal to the State Department of Sports to come out with the bill. In case anyone is found to have doped, must be jailed. Because it is not a game as usual. It is not good. We've seen people who have done as proud, and then a few people who are unscrupulous coaches, unscrupulous managers, or anybody else who wants to come and spoil the name of this country.
Faith Cherotich will represent the country in the 1500 meters after clocking 9 minutes and 4 seconds in the national trials. For Newswatch, I'm Caleb Morty.
Indeed, all the best to that shortlisted team as they now face the global stage in the Tokyo World Championships. That's all we had time for you tonight. Thank you for having kept us company. My name is Melissa Oduor, together with Boniface Muredi on the sign language. On behalf of the entire production crew behind the scenes, have a good night.